The following is a Joel Michalec production. The following episode of the Joel Michalec Show takes place between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Ta-da!
Oh, my God.
Welcome to the Joel Michalec Show. Here we are. I'm Joel Michalec, and along in the studio is...
Sharen.
The laughing Sharen. And the...
He just scared the bejesus out of me.
And the sad eyes Molly. Looking up at her mommy. So lovingly. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, welcome.
The Joel Michalec Show, broadcasting at joelmichalec.com. New episode every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. And this week is Super Bowl week.
Yes, it is.
So I wanted to tell everybody what I was doing for the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God. It was so funny when you told me what you were doing and then said that you knew of a lot of other people doing it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I have no interest in the Super Bowl.
No, you are watching the Super Bowl.
I am watching the Super Bowl, not the current Super Bowl. I'm watching my DVR'd Super Bowl 52. That's what I'm doing.
The one his team was in.
And in fact, I was out earlier today. They're doing the same thing, having a big party.
Yeah.
Having a big Super Bowl party, watching last year's show.
That's because the Patriots are in it. They are always in it. I'm looking forward to a year when they won't be in it.
I mean, there have been years that they weren't in it, but...
Yeah, but for the past 9 years, though, they have been in it.
And people, I think people are just tired of Patriots versus blank.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. I mean, they cheat their way to the Super Bowl and then cheat during the Super Bowl. So
this is great controversy, folks. I mean, really. Anyway, joelmichalec.com. That's where we're at. Also at Facebook at JM Talk or Twitter at WQYB Radio. So, I want to talk about yesterday. A couple things about yesterday. First of all, yesterday we had the pleasure of having the grandchildren for a couple quick hours.
Let me just tell you. Let me interrupt you for a minute.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And tell you.
Let me sit over here.
Right. Well, do that. And Bubs is getting so big.
He is.
Like, everything about him is getting so big. He's not allowed to do this.
But he still has that. He still has that thing where like, after they got here, he wanted a drink, and of course they sent him over with the pouch drinks.
Yeah.
And so he's standing in the kitchen because he has to drink in the kitchen now.
Right.
He's standing in the kitchen, and I'm in the laundry room, and he's sitting there and he's drinking. I mean, the straw never comes out of his mouth. Like, he's drinking this whole thing in one sip, and while he's doing it, he's got that look, with his head's down, his eyes are up at me.
Oh, well,
that
like, take it away. Go ahead, I dare you.
No, that evil look, like I'm going to kill you in your sleep. Not, I dare you to take it away. Like, when I tell him he can't do something, he gives me that look.
Yeah.
Like he's Satan.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, no, they were over here yesterday. And here's the thing. Now, I'm a gamer.
Right.
I'm not a gamer, but I play a couple games. 2 gaming computers, etc. But so what I don't do that gamers do is gamers like to watch other gamers game,
right? Because
they learn from it. They use it as a learning tool, and I get it. I just don't have that much time in my life. So I know that there's people out there that stream themselves gaming, so other people can watch them game and learn from them gaming. And then you take that a step further. There are people out there making homegrown videos on how to cook, how to cut your lawn, how to...
Well, yeah, there's all of these...
How to.
Right.
yesterday to entertain our grandson. There were videos being watched on how to play with Play-Doh.
Oh, no. Come on now. That's his thing.
I think we reached...
He loves Play-Doh.
We've reached this level where anything is television worthy.
You know, but he is learning because he's learning his colors, his shapes. So it's a good learning tool for him. That he's like a sponge.
But I mean, what's next? We're watching videos on how to play with Play-Doh. What's after that? What?
You're just jealous.
Maybe I am because I can't get my video series off the ground on YouTube yet. But
no, I'm saying you're jealous because when you were a kid, you had to figure out how to play Play-Doh instead of learning how on YouTube.
But we had fun doing it. When I was a kid, we had the outside and our imagination. And it's not like
you sound like when you were a kid, you were locked in a closet and you had to imagine being outside.
No, we were locked outside until nightfall. That's where we were locked. Yeah, we got up in the morning, they threw you out and shut and locked the door. And then when you did disappear, then they're out on the front porch, your parents, screaming your name across the neighborhood when the streetlights come on, you know?
Oh,
remember that? They just open the door?
Times have changed.
Yeah, they have.
Anyway.
So just watching videos on how... In fact, the video we were watching was teaching them how to make a rainbow rose.
I would want to know how to make a rainbow rose.
See, now... When we were kids, my brother-in-law and I decided to, we didn't need videos to do this. We assembled all my mother's candles that we could find in the house, and then we put them all together into my sister's Easy Bake Oven to make a new candle. Of course, the Easy Bake Oven never worked again, but, that's...
if you were my son... I think I would have beat your ass.
Generally speaking, I was well behaved and good.
I, on the other hand, was not.
Well, we know that.
What? Wow.
So also, then later on yesterday, we went. We went out. We had to go shopping. Had to buy a washer, but.
Oh my God! I know. I'm so excited about getting that.
But we got to play a game yesterday. That we got to play a game that we always play when we go out. So when we're out at the store, of course, I had to use the men's room, and then I got to play our favorite game. Where in the hell is my wife? Anytime we go to a store, we get to play this,
right?
and
it's a figure out where my wife could be.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I'm here to tell you, and this is good news for you, because last week when my sister was down and we had to go to Pennsylvania, we stopped at a Family Dollar. That's what it was.
Okay.
And so we're in there, and a dollar store is not big. None of them are. Okay. Right. And I had to play, where the hell is my sister at? So, I made 3 complete trips down the front aisles, down the back, front, back, front, back, before I found her. And she says the same thing you do. I was right here.
The whole time I was right there.
Well, then there's some sort of elusive alien force going on that hides, and hides the aisle that you're in from me. I was
wearing my invisible coat.
Yes, you were. But
I was.
But I don't know. I'm wondering if other men have to play that game.
They do, I'm sure.
It doesn't matter. Sure. I could lose you.
I think it's fun.
I can lose you in a tent for 5 minutes. And you'd be right there.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's fun. And the whole time I was thinking, okay, I really shouldn't go anywhere because Joel will lose me. And then he'll get mad.
I thought you were going to stay right in that area. You were looking for something in that area.
Right, but then I changed my mind and I wanted to look for something else in another area.
Because that never happens.
So I was like, well, all right, I'll be back long before he comes out. Yeah, that didn't happen.
No. You know what? It doesn't ever happen, if you think about it.
Well, no, but the intention is there.
Well, the intention doesn't find you any faster, especially when it was a Home Depot.
That
has like 50
I
some
love
aisles.
Home Depot.
But
that's my candy store.
That's your candy store.
Yes, I love Home Depot.
Anyway, so we got to play. It's a really weird version of hide and seek, but that's what it is.
He couldn't just pick up his cell phone and call me and say, "Hey, babe, where are you?"
I was getting ready to. But recall that you don't always answer the phone when I call either.
Oh, no, that's not true. I pick up the phone every single time.
You pick it up. You pick it up off the table.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't say I answered it. I just said I pick it up.
That's my point. That's my point. Later on the show, we have a new Wombat. We have a new hero for your liking. And also, coming up a little later on after the break, I know I want to talk a bit about phone scams. I know a thing or two about that. Not to sound like a State Farm commercial, you know. I've seen a thing or two, so I know a thing or two.
Right.
You know, but that could easily be my motto for my business.
It really could.
You know, but they stole it from me before I could get it.
Right.
Before it could come to me, they stole it. So
those people.
So I want to talk about that. And also, if you cruise by Facebook for the first time, now for like on show 36, 37 here, I'm not sure the exact count, but including my 10 years previously on the air, we have a bona fide controversial subject on the Facebook page.
Wow!
That we're not going to get into here, but it involves the new mandate that girls are joining the Boy Scouts. So I simply just posted a news story and left it alone, and boy, did it breed some instability.
Wow.
So
people were losing their minds?
Yeah, and you know, the thought occurred to me, I was like, you know, this is kind of why I don't do politics on the radio anymore.
Yeah.
But it occurred to me yesterday, not that it didn't occur to me before, because I think it probably did, but it occurred to me yesterday, or last night when I was looking at what was going on, is that you almost can have different, wildly, violently different sides on almost anything you post. This was about the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. I don't even know if it's a merger or not.
Right.
I feel like the Girl Scouts are still there, but they're letting
to join the Boy Scouts, right?
And they had to change their name too to Scouts BSA. So, but I think the Girl Scouts stay intact. I don't get it. I don't get it. But it's like a milestone, you know, that I caused the fight on the Facebook show page.
Wow.
For the first time in essentially almost 12 broadcasting years. Took that long. Because some of the other controversies I was involved in on Facebook, like previously when I lost some radio contacts in the radio world, was because I was not a Democrat. And when I was publicizing what my political affiliation was, then people would just get angry because they would look at my profile and go, "What? You're not a Democrat? I can't be friends with you." That kind of silly controversies. But So if you want to stop by there and comment, I only ask what I asked last night. Please be civil. Keep a civil tongue.
Yeah, I mean,
we have to be able to discuss things in this
like
nation.
Grown adults.
Exactly, like grown adults,
not little children.
Well, the grown adults are always fighting now.
Me.
Sound like a Muppet over there.
I'm sorry. Never mind.
And so that's that. So if you stop by there, check that out.
I will.
And, you know, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, I think it's driving more people to the page or to the show, which is great.
Yeah, but
if that's what it
for
takes,
the wrong
I will
reason.
post more crap like that. You know.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I can post a weather report tomorrow and see what that does.
Probably nothing.
Well, you never know. I didn't think posting that was going to do that. You know?
Well, considering you said you weren't going to get into it,
I'm not.
but you really got into it.
I can really get into it, but I'm not really going to get into it.
No.
I'm really not going to get into it. Because then it would be like politics all over again. But, also, I meant to make a question out of this on social media, and I did not. I forgot. Because I'm wondering if there's a story that we saw in conjunction with having a problem with our Molly that we are investigating a little deeper because we want to bring
definitely.
it. We want to blow the doors off this for a segment on the program. And I need to post because I want to hear from other people. I want to know if they're having problems. We had a problem, we think, with our Molly's rabies shot, her 3-year shot.
Right.
And it made her sick for like a week and a half.
No, I thought it was more like 5 days.
No, it was over a week.
Okay.
It was over a week at least. That's why I said a week and change, week and a half maybe. And it was near the end of that we saw some things come out about vets that are complaining about how the vaccine for rabies
right.
and some other vaccines, I guess, but mostly rabies, is it's mandated that the same dosage for a 5-pound dog is the same as a 120-pound dog. And so there are some vets speaking out, and this is why we want to dig into it, that said that we're literally killing dogs.
I know, and excuse me.
You're excused.
We had to take Molly to the vet for another shot. And I did bring it up.
But they said they'd talk to the doctor and get back to you.
Yeah, so I talked to the vet tech. And there goes my voice. But I talked to the vet tech, and she said she would talk to the doctor. And I didn't hear anything from the doctor.
And I'm hoping that they do, because I'd like to know what our vet's opinion of this is.
Right. Well, I think what I'm going to do is tomorrow call the vet and ask to have him call me.
Yeah.
So we can discuss this.
Yeah, if only but for a minute of his time.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But, so I'm going to put that out there. So look for that on our social media. I'm going to put out a question because I want to know if you've had problems with the rabies vaccine, particularly in your fur babies.
Yep.
And that way, as we gather more information about this to present it, on the podcast, we'll have some public opinion that, we went out and directly looked for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to come knocking on all your doors out there. Yeah. And I'll do it, too.
Oh, he will.
So that's some stuff that we're working on in the future. And what else? What do you have in a minute? You have something you want to talk about in a minute before we go to break? So you can drink some more of your soda? Your sody pop? Your pop.
I don't have anything.
Oh, okay. It's a very nice.
I have something,
very nice shirt you're wearing,
but it's going to take more than a minute to discuss it. So
okay, well, your shirt's very nice.
Why? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a nice shade of 7 or 8 colors, but it's nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
thank you.
I just don't understand how it's warm, but you say it's warm. I don't get how it's warm.
Oh, it's very warm.
Is it made of? I don't get it. It doesn't even feel warm. It doesn't feel like it's made of anything that can be warm. It feels like spandex, almost loose spandex. No, is that not a thing? Loose spandex?
No, but you're weird.
Okay, well, I'll be weird. Anyway, so while I'm being weird, I'm going to go take a drink, and we'll be back in 90 seconds right after this.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Broadcasting from a crummy little studio in Baltimore, Maryland. This is Reality One Radio.
You see why we need your donations?
And we're back. It's the Joel Michalec Show. New episode every Sunday at joelmichalec.com. Join us on Facebook at JM Talk and on Twitter at WQYB Radio. Here we go. On the show here, we got Molly is very active right now in the studio.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. So I wanted to talk about Pintrest. As I said to you earlier this week, I wanted to talk about Pintrest, and I almost forgot, actually. I reminded myself during the break. But I love Pintrest. Pinterest is a great site for a lot of things. Now, we get a lot of recipes from Pinterest, lot of recipe ideas, but I have a whole section dedicated to what you can do with campers, storage ideas, pallet, what you can do with pallet wood.
Right.
Which is funny. We have all these aspirations to do stuff with pallet wood. We haven't done anything with pallet wood.
But look at it.
Look at it. We have a couple pallets out back waiting for something to be gone.
Right.
And now they're soaked from all the rain we have. But anyway.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about Pinterest. I love it. I want to get that out of the way. I want that understood.
Yes.
That I love
We
Pinterest.
understand that you love Pinterest.
But here's the thing. When I'm looking at a recipe and I go, I want to see how that's made. I want to try that. I like that. And then, some of the recipes on Pinterest will tell you right there, ingredients, how to make it. It's right there when you click the pin. They call pins. Many of them don't have that. You click the pin, and then there's a picture, and then it says, make this recipe, or something like that. Some sort of button that you click to take you out of the site to somebody's, usually,
website.
Blog. Usually it's a blog website.
Right.
And that's great. That's all fine and well. I love to write, so I appreciate people that like to write. Right. But I want the recipe. Like, I have to...
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to know your life history.
Right.
What dog you had first, and
you gotta, besides the ads, the click ads, that are all over your blog...
Exactly.
And the fact that, the water heater busted this morning. You had to worry about that. And that's what made you think of this great comfort food dinner. I don't care about all that. I want the recipe. I'm sitting here scrolling and scrolling.
I know.
Until my fingers bleed to finally get the ingredient list. And then after the ingredient list, now I have to hear about how your mother-in-law stayed with you last week and really upset the whole family. And then I find out how to make the damn thing. And by then, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm hangry.
You lose.
I'm effing hangry. Yes. So I love Pinterest. But the people with the blogs, you have to... you don't all have to be Stephen King's. You don't have to take a recipe and turn it into a 1,000-page novel.
Exactly.
Just tell me what I need to buy. And
how I need to do it.
And here's the other thing. Why do I have to figure out portion sizes? Like, these meals are for like 4 to 8 people.
Right.
Can you suggest a smaller recipe? Because sometimes you try to adjust it yourself and then maybe something's not right.
Mess it up, right.
I don't know. But now, that leads me to another problem that I'm always complaining about. When we go to the market, why can't I buy 4 hot dog rolls, 4 hamburger rolls, a half a loaf of bread?
You are preaching to the choir.
It's only the 2 of us.
I know.
People, you don't realize how much bread we throw away. Because by the time we get to it all, it's blue and green. And I don't think that's the intended color of bread. Right. Maybe my grandson's making Play-Doh bread that's red and green and blue. But the bread that's my Wonder Bread is not supposed to be those colors, not beyond the wrapper. But they are. Because we can't buy portion sizes.
Right.
Now, you know who does? Schwann's. If you ever heard of this is not an endorsement. We buy from Schwann's.
Yeah.
They're a little bit better on portion control because they individualize a lot of their stuff.
Right.
But then you're paying out the ass for it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the theory behind why is everybody fat? Well, because a triple cheeseburger deluxe is 99 cents and a salad is $15. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why.
I just stepped up on a soapbox here, didn't
I know, right?
It was
Here, let me help you down.
it was supposed to be about Pinterest, but what I'm saying is, listen, lots of great recipes come from Pinterest. We've made a lot of things that have made it, that have actually gone on to be on our regular list.
Now, let me interrupt you. This is how you and I discuss dinner plans. Okay?
Which we certainly haven't done for tonight.
Right. But this is how we do it. Babe, have any dinner ideas? I don't know, babe. What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? Hold on 1 minute. Boom, right to Pinterest.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Or the other day when I asked you what you wanted to do for dinner, you're like, nothing. Well, that tells me, well, okay, well, I guess I'm going to make myself a little hobo stew.
Right.
You know, because that means you're not going to eat. Which, by the way, is not healthy. Ratting you out.
Hey, healthy or not, my doctor says it's okay. I'm going to do it.
Anyway, so please calm down on the blogs. Just give me the recipe.
Right?
Just give me the recipe. Now,
exactly.
I've taken a recipe in the newsletter at work, actually. They asked for recipes. Which one did I say? I did I know what it was. It was the pierogi. I think it was the pierogi casserole with the kielbasa in it. I think that's the one that I submitted to the newsletter, but I wrote it up.
Right.
And a lot of people made it and enjoyed it, and it is a really good meal.
Yeah.
But even more people liked the way I wrote about it.
Oh, I know. It was hilarious, actually.
You don't have to write a book. I was about to say boring book, but I don't want to say that. I don't want people to get upset, even though I'm bitching about their blogs. But you know, we need to get to the crust of it. We just need to know what to do and how to get there.
Right.
You know, I don't need directions like the old schoolhouse that used to be on the corner. just tell me how to
right.
So, and while we're on the subject of food and recipes, you had a disappointment for the first time with the Instant Pot. You weren't happy with your chili recipe.
Yeah, no. And I will never do that again. Never. I get praised for my chili. Okay? I could sell it. However, when sorry about my voice, guys. But when you said, babe, let's put it in the Instapot, I was like, eh.
You were leery, yes.
I really was. I really was leery. And so we did. And 10 minutes later, it was nasty.
No, I didn't think it was nasty. I still enjoyed it.
I did. It just felt like...
You felt like the spices didn't get the pop.
Right, they didn't. And when I took it to work the next day and told my coworker, here, you can have this, but put it in a crock pot for, all day on low. So she did that.
And?
It was delicious.
Okay, well, we know. Chili in a crock pot.
Chili
Listen, not
in
everything's
a
going to work
crock
in a pressure cooker.
Right.
The Instant Pot is nothing but a pressure cooker. You cook chicken or steak or something there, it turns out good.
Right.
Okay, but maybe stews are not meant for that kind of cooking, that flash cooking, because that's what it is.
Now, I have a question.
I have an answer.
When you cooked it in the Instapot, did you cook it on beefs and stews? There's a button that says stews.
It told me hi.
Okay, no. You probably should have used the stews.
Well, maybe the Pinterest recipe for it should have said that.
Well, sometimes you have to stray from your Pinterest recipe.
Or maybe it did, but I was getting told about the rings around the tub that they had to scrub beforehand. So maybe I got lost somewhere in the rest of the plum trying
Maybe
to find.
they said they had to scrub at it for 10 minutes.
So chili to the crock pot, stews to the crock pot.
Yes.
Soups probably will stay with the crock pot then, because we make soups in the crock pot. I wouldn't want those same problems.
Right.
But if you're making chicken, or we made a nice Swiss steak.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
That was anyway. All right. I can't wait for that.
Right.
Can you handle your thingy, vocally wise?
Yeah. You know, as long as...
Do your exercises.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. Sharon
He's
had
so
something that
nasty.
she wanted to discuss.
All right, so people just forgive me for my voice. This is what happens when you talk too much.
Well, why don't you shut it up then?
Well, I have to say what I want to say.
That's right.
All right, now I have a story here, okay? The headline is, I'm going to die here.
And this didn't come from Pintrest, right?
No.
Okay.
It was an inmate told the prison guard that she was going to die. She ended up dying. And she was complaining of aches and pains and this is wrong, and she had these for 2 days. Okay? She was on the floor rolling around crying because it hurt. And she ended up dying, and she wanted to go to the hospital, and they said no. They yelled at her for talking over them. She was only 36, and it just brings to light the problem that the customers, that the healthcare is not stepping up to their, in
the hospital, in the prison system,
right?
Because sometimes you see like riots and stuff breaking out in the prisons, and sometimes it's for reasons like that, like they want
exactly.
And there's
exactly.
and you know what, that could be another whole controversial thing, because there's two sides of that too. You're gonna have people that are like, they need better medical care, and there's other people that say, well, for what? They're in prison,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
So there's two schools of thoughts on that, but that's why a lot of riots break out. Now, where did that happen? Did it say what prison?
Yeah, it did.
But a lot of riots break out to, because they want better conditions. They want better medical conditions, more playtime.
Elkhart Community Corrections.
Wow. So 2 days was complaining and died 4 days later, or was it 6 days from the 2 days of complaining?
No, it was 9 days from the date that... No, I'm just kidding. Just the way that you worded that, I was like... Okay.
I'm just, because you were discussing it earlier, and I didn't know if it was a total of 6 days from getting there, or 6 days from the...
It was...
Let's go with 6 days.
And within 20 years...
And then they can...
hang yourself in a jail cell.
Is that what she did?
Yeah, because she was mentally ill.
Oh, wait a minute.
And they ignored her.
Oh, I thought what you were saying earlier.
No, that's a different one. That's a separate situation. But I'm just...
All right, well, it's okay. It's all right.
I know. I just don't like bringing a story up if I don't know and can't answer every question that you have.
Well, I don't mean to put you on a hot seat or anything.
Right? All right, the guards thought that she was going through withdrawal.
Because she was an addict?
Right. But she wasn't.
I guess I can see that, though. Because you see, when you see people who are withdrawing from it, they're like, on the floor, they're rolling around, holding their stomachs, and so I guess I can see that. I'm not saying it makes it justifiable. They still, even if you're going through withdrawal and having issues like that, should still at least go to the infirmary and start there.
Well, she was a single mother of 5.
Well, that makes it sad.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, they
Getting
need some
back
reform.
to...
They need some reform.
They do. I think the healthcare system needs reform, too.
Well, that could take a whole hour.
It could. It could. But...
Because I do spoon that out in dribs and drabs and pieces, with...
Right.
Especially like when I was covering the diabetic issue with the insulin.
Right.
So... But,
All right,
so we're going to have to
that's...
keep a watch on that.
Yeah, we will.
Well, we say we're going to keep a watch on everything, but, we don't... You never hear beyond that point. What kind of news coverage
And we
is
were
that?
saying that the last...
Yeah, we talked about that before.
You hear about this devastating event, and you don't hear another word.
Right.
After it.
Exactly.
So.
All right. The Delaware State Police put out another alert about phone scams this week.
Okay.
And it got me thinking, because I usually take those and I post them.
Right.
And I didn't, because instead of just saying, here's another phone scam to be wary of, and of course it pertains to more than just Delaware, because, but the Delaware State Police, they have a computer unit and they look for these things.
Right.
So I wanted to take a different approach. I just wanted to talk to people briefly on a podcast about phone scams. It doesn't really matter what the phone scam is. Sending you or posting a piece of news that says, hey, this phone scam is making its way around, you could say that every time a phone scam comes around. I think to me, it would be more important to share with people from my experience in IT. That's my full-time gig. I think it's important to realize that the phone scams are like one of the biggest businesses. And what I wanted to tell people, instead of saying, well, here's another scam and it's called this and this is what they're trying to do, why, if you don't know the phone number calling you, would you pick up the phone?
Well,
and I'm asking you because kind of sometimes you do.
I do. And the reason I do is because there may be something going on where I'm expecting a call from a doctor, or I'm expecting a call from Joe Schmo that lives 3 blocks away because he has something, he's selling something or whatever. You know what I mean? And so I'll pick it up.
Right.
And it turns out to be a scam. The IRS says they want all your money and they want it right now.
So my point is, if it was important, they'd leave a voicemail. I find this to be true with calls that I don't pick up. And I go, oh, it's John. Well, now John will make it into my phone contact list.
Right.
And I'll know next time.
And you'll call him back. Right.
So my point would be, because I'm running out of time this segment, my point would be, if you don't know the number, don't pick up the phone. Scammers won't leave a voicemail. And if they do, it's going to be robotic, I think. But if it's important, they'll leave a message. Otherwise, because the key to a scammer is they're very good at the hook.
Right.
They're very good at getting your attention. And once they get that hook, then they have you. And you'll never get off the phone. And then you wind up in all kinds of trouble. So when it comes to phone scams, Joel Michalec says, if you don't know the number, don't answer your phone.
Exactly.
And if they do leave a message and it is a scam or somebody you never heard of or sounds suspicious, block the number.
Exactly.
Because they're using this science of virtual numbers now, where they'll get virtual numbers in your area code so it looks like somebody you might be expecting that call from.
And it'll be a 302-985.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. And that's because my phone number is 302-985. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah.
Well, now there's 9,999 possibilities that somebody listening to the podcast can use to try to find you. But anyway, and scam you.
Oh, well. They'll never get me.
Anyway, so just don't pick up the phone if you don't know the number. That's my advice on the whole phone scam thing.
Exactly.
Otherwise, when we coming back at the break, honor thy heroes and Wombat of the week, and maybe not in that order.
Are you ready for some more Joel Michalec Show?
I'd better not. I have what doctors call a little bit of a weight problem.
I have the irrefutable proof that the Earth is not flat. Here it is. If the Earth was flat, don't you think cats would be on the edge of it, knocking off? A new episode every Sunday at joelmichalec.com.
So I use my computer every day. I'm not even sure how I get along without it. But I wasn't prepared for a virus. A Trojan, they called it. One night I'm cruising along, and the next night I can't do anything. I was afraid it was going to cost me a fortune. Boy, was I surprised. They had me back up and running the same day I called them. I really like PC Tech Rescue, and you know what? My wallet likes them too.
Are you troubled by computer problems? PC Tech Rescue should be your very next call. Whether the problem is viruses, hardware, software, or any other issue, they can diagnose your problem and have you back up and running fast. With more than 25 years of industry experience, you can be sure you are getting dependable and affordable service. Call today, 484-429-6061, or email us at pctechrescue@gmail.com.
Hey, welcome back to the Joel Michalec Show. I'm Joel Michalec, and we broadcast a new episode, or we release a new episode every Sunday at joelmichalec.com. Also find me on Facebook at JM Talk. Find us on Twitter at WQYB Radio. And remember, you can also hear the show on Friday nights at 6 p.m. on Star FM Radio, and on Sunday nights at 11 p.m. on 920 WON, the Apple, in Brooklyn, New York, and those links are on the webpage and social media. So there you have it. That's how you can hear the show. Okay, so this is what we call the home stretch of the program. It's the third segment and the final segment, and it's where we hold our Wombat of the Week segment and our Honor Thy Heroes, and they'll both be up in just a moment. I wanted to just cover a piece I saw on TechCrunch. And yes, I'm a geeky, I'm nerdy, I'm a Trekkie fan, and I do IT all damn day and night. So yes, I read articles on these techie places. But anyway, according to TechCrunch, they say it's time to pay serious attention to the app Tik Tok. TikTok. And so if you haven't heard about it, it's often referred to as a lip-syncing app, which makes it sound like it's some online karaoke experience. But a closer comparison, according to TechCrunch, would be Vine, which is Twitter's still sorely missed short-form video app whose content lives on as compilations on YouTube. I used to really enjoy watching Vines, which are like 6-second videos. I think they would repeat like 3 times. And so they were enjoyable, but TikTok is 15-second videos, and you can mix some sound effects and some music to them, and they're more like memes, is how they kind of call them. But they're saying there's a 275% increase in users since over December 2017, so sort of the same time period the previous year. I can't say last year, because last year would be 2018, and this is 2017 they're talking about. So, I downloaded it and had it for a couple days so I can kind of see what was up about it, because I'm always looking for, platforms to do short videos, maybe for, interactivity for the program. But I have to tell you, I lost a lot of brain cells in the couple days I had TikTok, and I had to get rid of it. I'm sure with the amount of users it has, there's a lot of people who think it's some great thing, but when I watched some of the videos, I sort of felt like this is the dumbing down of the human race. Like, people are, you're doing stupid things, and most of the stuff on there is stupid, silly things. and broadcasting it. Like, what is going on? Like, where have we come to? And so I just couldn't do it. And, TikTok is now, like, attracting the interest of, like, Jimmy Fallon and Tony Hawk. Now, Tony Hawk, I can see. I can see him doing stuff, 15 seconds, because he does, great stuff in the world of skating. But Jimmy Fallon? I mean, I don't know. What would you do with 15-second segments? I don't know. So I don't know. So another point that TechCrunch made is that other than people like Tony Hawk or Jimmy Fallon, they're saying that unlike some of the other platforms like YouTube, Instagram, they're saying that TikTok just doesn't yet have that dominated feel by micro celebs. But it says although they do exist. And if they mean that the same regular people you see on TikTok doing other stupid things all the time, then okay, then yeah, you have some micro celebs out there, micro Wombat celebs maybe on there, but I don't know. Like, I mean, it's on my cloud now, so I could download it again. I just don't know. I can't let too many brain cells get away from me because I need them. I need them to be a functioning adult, and I have to go to work and pay taxes for other people that can't work because they're hanging out on TikTok doing silly things. So there you have it. But I will, if I remember, because I may have lost a couple more brain cells just talking about TikTok, I'll try to remember to post this article link in the show notes of the podcast for your reading pleasure. So anyway, our next segment is Wombat of the Week. Now you can join in on the fun by submitting your Wombat of the Week story to the program. Simply email the link to a news story of stupid people doing stupid things to wombat@joelmichalec.com or joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. You can also submit your stories in a message on our Facebook page at JM Talk. So get me those stories of stupid people. And this one is wow. That's all I can say about this one. Wow. A woman poses as Walgreens pharmacist for years and hands out 750,000 prescriptions. Coming out of San Jose, California. Not California. A Bay Area woman is accused of posing as a pharmacist and handing out nearly 1 million prescriptions before she was caught. This, according to the California Board of Pharmacy in California. According to the board, Kim Thien Lee told them she'd attended Creighton University, but records revealed she'd never graduated. When the board asked Lee for her pharmacist license number, they said they discovered she had used the license numbers of 2 other pharmacists with similar names. During questioning, she told the board, "Me and my son would be very grateful if you could just forget about this. Just forget about it. I'd be really grateful if you just forget that I handed out 745,355 prescriptions in the course of a decade posing as a pharmacist. But please forget about this." She worked at Walgreens in San Jose, Milpitas, and Fremont. Think about that. Somebody who's not a qualified pharmacist for 10 years gives out almost 1 million prescriptions. I mean, what would happen if they went back and checked to make sure that she didn't misprescribe something? Oh my God, the ramifications behind this. Crazy. Lee is not the only one in trouble. The board is looking at revoking Walgreens Pharmacy's license at the stores where she worked. Walgreens couldn't tell the board if they requested or reviewed Lee's pharmacist license and couldn't furnish her employment application during the agency's investigation. Walgreens should have done a better job in screening, said a customer. Absolutely. Absolutely. Screen your people. Oh my goodness. You know how many times I can bring this kind of subject up? You know, the screening process. You know, when you're hiring people, when you're hiring pharmacists, when you're hiring law enforcement officers, I mean, don't you think you want to make sure you screen them? I mean, I see the screening process that they go through at my work, and a lot of times we have vacancies for a long time because you just can't find the right people. That's a real problem. Okay. Walgreens spokesperson said that Lee stopped working for the company in 2017 and that the company undertook a re-verification of the licenses of all of the pharmacists nationwide to ensure that this was an isolated incident. When asked how long she was able to work at Walgreens for so long under the guise that she was a pharmacist, the spokesperson did not want to comment. This case remains under investigation. Of course. This is just amazing to me that she was able to go that long posing as a pharmacist. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care if you went for 12 of the 15 credits, 3 of the 4 years, 5 of the 7 years. I don't care. You can't partially go for training and then go do the job. I mean, there are some jobs you can test out. Okay? There are some jobs you can test out on. But prescribing medications to people, I mean, I just can't imagine what might happen as they investigate this 10 years. Whew. I don't know. So, I'm going to let you, as the listener, choose who the Wombat should be here. Okay? Is Walgreens the Wombat for allowing someone to work for 10 years and handing out all those prescriptions and not really verifying them enough to know that she was not a qualified pharmacist? Or is Kim Thien Lee the Wombat for I don't even know what to call this, impersonating a pharmacist? I don't know. That's why I let you decide. I'm not naming the Wombat. I'm presenting you with the story, and I'll let you, the listener, decide which one is the Wombat for your purposes. You figure out who you want to be the Wombat of the week. And get me those stories. Wombat at joelmichalec.com. Now, Sharen always reminds me that I should spell it so people know. Okay, it's spelled com.com. No, I'm just kidding. joelmichalec.com. Michalec is spelled Michalec. So now I've covered that base. And I think if I cover it at least once on the show, then I think I'm okay. So there you have it. Now, the other segment we do in the home stretch is our Honor Thy Heroes. And this is where I comb through the news. And in the same way, you can send me also news of heroes, everyday heroes doing great things in the world of law enforcement, medical, fire, dispatch, emergency management. You know, I want to praise these people for doing great things. And so in the same way, you can send those stories to joelmichalecradio@gmail.com as well. And you can share them to me on the Facebook page. So this week on Honor Thy Heroes, we're honoring Chicago officers, police officers in Chicago, for rescuing a man and his dog from Lake Michigan. Now, unless your head's been buried in the snow lately, then you know Lake Michigan is cold and frozen. So apparently, a 33-year-old man is not being named, and his dog, a 9-month-old American Eskimo, recovering from an ordeal that took place near the shores of Foster Beach on Sunday afternoon. This is last Sunday, this previous Sunday, depending on how you're looking at this and when you're listening. But the man who was pulled out of the water by Chicago police officers, he's worried about other animal lovers. So, Chicago officers rescued the man. He says he was obviously very foolish and in the wrong for letting his dog off the leash in the park. I mean, people do that. I get it. I even see it all the time. Even if it's not a fenced-in dog park, they take the dog off the leash, let him run around. He sent an email to the Tribune on Tuesday saying that the ice ridges are just as big and dangerous at Montrose Dog Beach, and this is him saying it, I worry about dog owners and their dogs visiting these areas in these conditions. There's a real danger of a dog falling behind the ice ridge and needing rescue. Now, he let his dog off the leash, and it ran out and ended up having a rescue problem. So he ended up jumping in the frozen waters to save his dog. And because people, dog lovers, love their dogs. I would jump into a frozen lake for Molly. I would. And then in turn, they both had to be rescued, and they both were rescued by Chicago police officers. But the story, what's happening here, which I think is very interesting, is this guy who got rescued is making a bigger story out of the fact that other dog owners need to be concerned. Because he says that this park is among 20 areas within the Chicago Park District designated as dog-friendly, and of course Montrose Dog Beach being the largest with access directly to the lake. So now he has Michelle Burke, a member of the Montrose Dog Beach Advisory Council, echoing his concern that he wrote to the paper. And so that now they just want to make sure that dog parents use common sense and stay home when the temperatures are really cold and not allow their dogs to be off the leashes where they could wind up in some sort of trouble in the lake areas. So there you have it. The man said he'd been to Foster Beach, on the lake, hundreds of times. So it's not a new area for him, but you got to remember the circumstances. I mean, Chicago was very cold last week. We have a daughter that lives in Chicago, and she sent us a picture of her wearing 4 pairs of pants, 3 jackets, 4 scarves, 7 hats. This was just to walk to work, So I don't need to go out there to experience that. Chicago is apparently the real deal when it comes to weather. No argument from me. However, on the program, we're honoring the Chicago police officers that rescued the man and his pup. And we are really glad that they are out of harm's way. They have recovered. They're in good shape. They've learned their lesson, which is good. Bad that they had to learn it that way, but good that they've learned their lesson. And honoring the Chicago police officers they're on the bill for Honor Thy Heroes this week. So I need you to get me those stories. Especially, if you are a law enforcement officer or a firefighter or a medical technician, EMT, or a paramedic, or in any of these fields, a dispatcher, you can send me stories because you guys are probably signed up for all kinds of services where you hear about this stuff. And you can send them to me because there definitely is not enough heroes in the news. And, if my voice reaches one person and tells them about a hero, then that works for me. I want people to know that there are heroes that work and walk among us, right in your backyard. So thank you, Chicago Police Department and your officers, for saving that fur baby and the fur baby's daddy from what could have been a very, very bad event. And remember, folks, you have to keep your dog safe. Even in our community, people they let their dogs out and run around. And it's not bad. It's bad for the dog. It's bad for other dogs. Our Molly's been attacked twice in this community because of that. And it's not bad for the owners. I mean, it's not good for the owners. I mean, what happens if your pups get hit? I mean, you got to think about these things. Stop being so stupid. So, anyway, that brings us straight up to the close of the show. If you're watching the Super Bowl like I'm not, then I hope whoever you're rooting for, Rams, win and have fun. I'm hoping more so whoever's playing tonight, the Patriots or the Rams, I'd rather wish you happy Super Bowl gluttony and eat your heart to your heart's content, because that's really what Super Bowl is all about, right? Food! So other than that, We will catch you next week. Thanks for coming by and listening to the podcast. New show every Sunday. You have a good week, folks. Stay warm, and we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.